and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Moving on, an interesting article from ThomasNet. Thomas is a well-known business publication. They are a company that connects businesses with suppliers. But a very interesting article by Anna Wells entitled, "What Does the Future Hold for Sports Venues?" And by the way, of course, you can always check out all of the sources that we use on our shows by checking out the show notes, which are right under the video stream. So it's an interesting article, but it brings up some things that I have been discussing. These stadiums, you have massive stadiums in many areas. They are a source of, they have, of course, oftentimes they've been built with government cooperation, with franchised teams operating in there. But the question at this point, going forward, given the global health crisis, is what will happen when it comes to restarting sporting events and other mass events like that. Now, on one hand, it's been pointed out that many of these stadiums, particularly if they're open air, are probably a lot safer than other areas. But in other cases, there's still concern about people being smushed in close together. And are we going to see a situation where, okay, the stadiums will reopen, but that fewer seats will be sold, fewer tickets will be sold, which could have a negative financial impact on the stadium, but also force the price of tickets to go up higher. You know, I remember when the old Comiskey Park was shut down and demolished here in Chicago. The new ballpark was put together across the street. And I remember my father, this was like in 1991, something like that, my father, who was by no means a crusading social justice warrior, but he said to me, the prices of those tickets have gone up so high. He said the people in that neighborhood, their very own people in that neighborhood, can no longer afford to go see the games. Yeah. And my concern is here, we've got these stadiums, and are they going to jack up the prices of tickets because they can only sell a certain number of them, and further exclude people from sporting events, concerts, and that sort of thing? But the alternative is, okay, does the stadium go dark? And if you've heard me talk on this show about big box stores, vacant storefronts, vacant shopping malls, we just talked about that last week, letting the stadiums go completely dark is simply not acceptable because of the public health hazard and the blight that it causes. But this is one example of how the local economies will have to be rethought, particularly in major cities and areas that have these kind of stadiums.
So I would just add into all of this that I have a slightly different take on this. So from what I understand, at least with sporting events, specifically baseball, football, whatever it is, they're actually making so much money, they're actually making more money with their television deals than they are. That's why they've been playing a lot of these stadiums with no one in them, because they're still profitable just having the game happen, even without the tickets. So my guess is the angle that we're going to be going at, because this is America after all, and we do like our choices, and it's going to be that they're going to make they're going to make more secluded VIP sections. They're going to have some, because they already have it sanctioned off, but that's going to become more and more apparent. There's going to be higher price tickets for people that can do that with way better, all the good seating. That's who gets it, are the people that do that. All the better service, better food, catering, whatever it might be. And then maybe they lower the quality and the event, and they lower the ticket costs for all the people in the nosebleed sections, or just terrible seating. Or because it's like, I think from their point of view, if they're like, well, we could either get these rich people and then not fill anything, or we can make some money, but we're just going to not treat them at all.
Yeah. Seeing the class boundary, the barriers and the boundaries, it's like we were talking about before, who has a debit card or a credit card and who has to pay with cash. Are we going to see even greater stratification in these public venues?